the new challenger.
Our fighters are ready to lay it all on the line.
Show me what you have.
An honor, to be sure.
Round one. Fight.
All right, first round. What's going to happen?
I must
Throws him down. Uncomfortable space here. Can they clip each other on the edge? Player 2 with the life lead.
Here. Away. Go.
Gets the jump in. Turns it up a notch and sends them to the corner. Was looking for that jump attack. Super art activated. Expect something big here. Player 1 must be feeling good after that super, but they gotta keep on the gas. Just out of range for that throw. At this range, many attacks can connect if you stick something out. The neutral game is very important here. Player 2 will have to fight back here without any drive. There's a change of side. A quick breather. In there! Player 2 on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on.
Round two. Fight.
Immediate jumping. Who's going to start things off? Player 1 chases them down. Throw connects and does big damage. Both fighters planning something? Goes for the jump in. Still scrapping for control of Amnesia. Lands the back throw. Time to go. Burnout activates. Going in? Player 2 needs to use the threat of hit them with a stop and box. Player 2 in dire straits with burnout. Hopes with a medium kick. Perfect execution with the anti-air. You're turning it right up with a super. Closing it out with a super art finish. Nice and clean. There it is. They knew it'd be enough. This is the final round. Expect to see some fireworks.
Not good enough.
Final round. Fight.
Jump! Knock them out of the air. Quick medium poke. My dives in from above. Ooh, what a smart blow. Both willing to risk it for the overdrive. It's the interdiction. They've been waiting for this. This could change everything. Player 1 can't use drive burnout, but they may have a plan here. Player 1 is in burnout state, a very precarious situation. This is where we can expect some major pressure. Connects with the throw. Okay, here we go. Looking for a hole. The Triglob skewers them. They can't get hit here. Neither fighter is showing any signs of that. They are done! I've seen a lot of fights in my day, but nothing even comes close to this one. It's not over yet. Best believe it's time for that comeback. Tree glove. Barely blocks the jump in. Medium kick hits. Strings it all together. On dangerous turf. Easy to get tagged at this range. Knockdown. Player 1 is just about out of drive after that. Managing the drive gauge well here can open up a lot of good chances for them later in the round. The fighters are matching each other move for move going into the midway point of the match. Good job blocking the jump in. They're showing us just how patient they can be. Player 1 creates a good corner opportunity. Drive rush to keep it going. Still scrapping for control of the space. Slips the grab. In there! Player 2 takes the round like a thief in the night. What else can they get away with?
Round two. Fight.
Bending that drive gauge. Are we going to see some fireworks here? Will gain control of the match in the early going. Takes them all the way to the corner with that. Player 2 can't use any drive moves without burning out. Experiencing burnout. Player 2 in dire straits with burnout. Barely blocks the jump in. Super arts on deck for both fighters. How they approach the situation will be interesting. Therefore, burnout triggered. Side switch in the corner. Looking for a chance. Good job escaping that dangerous corner situation. Player 1 has an empty drive gauge. This is a very precarious situation. Drive rush to keep it going. Full SA meters on deck for both sides. This could be over soon. Solid anti-air. Connects with the throw. Pounding them with the La Chuca. Can they stand the heat? Shows off a parry. Uses the teleport. Both sides getting ready. Any mistake here is gonna be grounds them from above. Closes it out. Player 2 brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak. Right back into the rematch. We ain't even close to done yet. Grabs them with the embrace. Deftly shuts out the jump in. Uncomfortable space here. Can they clip each other on the edge? You can use a drive rush like that there to maintain the pressure. Player 1 pushes the opponent into the corner. Both fighters decide to reset the pace and assess the situation. They're being absolutely relentless with this fireball pressure in the corner. Neither fighter can rely on their drive anymore. Player 2 doesn't have a lot of drive gauge to play with. Not a good thing. All right, what's coming up next? Player 2 needs to deal with this burnout. Not shy with the grab, takes a big gamble and rips out a raw super. Heading into the end game now, it's getting tense. Player 1 is almost dead, and that's a KO. Timed that perfectly. Player 2 picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage.
Round 2. Fight.
Goes for the jump in to start. They've piled up the knowledge. Now, how are they going to use it? Parries the attack. Player 1 chases them down. Throwing some shade. Player 1 is working with a better gauge. What can they do with it? You've got to be mindful of reach and jump-ins at this range. Both fighters planning something? Shows the medium kick. Getting that extra juicer with Kagero no Mai. Out there going for the super art. Back into the corner. What setup do they have? Knocked them out of the air. Pre-glove. Jump. Slides it back, misses. Kick out of nowhere. This is the final round. Expect to see some fireworks.
Not good enough.
Final round. Fight.
Back tries to make something happen with an overdrive arc. Medium kick hits. Hits up the counter. This is going to be huge. Ooh, what a smart throw. Fireball instantly does some big damage. Player 1 has the super gauge advantage. That throw's gonna take off a chunk of damage. Drive rush. Wow, sat and waited for this opening. Player 1 can't let what a finish. Player 1 made all the right moves, and this experience is only gonna make them stronger. It's not over yet. Best believe it's time for that run back. Big throws. This is the time to use fireballs to chip away at an opponent. Lands the forward throw. The corner pressure continues.
Stay down.
Player 1 has them legit shook in the corner. Backs them into the corner. Got their eye on the air. Uses the drive rush here to steal their turn. Good job blocking the jump in. They're showing us just how patient they can be. Big counter. Their super art gauge is running on empty. That's going to be a big factor in how this match plays out.
Get to yourself, please.
Throws them to negate the block. Gets them. Player 1 takes the round like a thief in the night. What else can they get away with?
Round 2. Fight.
Immediate jump in. Everything up until now, and everything from here on out, is so vital. The big bang Kachoshin comes out, springs forward with the drive rush, keeping them away. Both fighters planning something? They decide to take a breather to regroup. So, what's next? Player experiencing burnout. Oh, could be the start of something. Player 2 doesn't have a lot of drive gauge to play with. Chernobyl! Player 1 is in a pretty good bends the meter, hoping for a good return. Player 1, that's not gonna hit. Picks up the counter. This is going to be huge. Can they claw their way back and stop KO? Player 1 faced the giant and walks away unscathed. What a win! Are these two gonna fight forever? Medium kick. Can't tech the throw. Fires off an overdrive arc. Adding that to the mix will change the pace of the match and keep the opponent on their toes. Both fighters are pretty much unscathed. Now they get pushed into the corner, where it's going to be very difficult to escape. Player 2 in that dangerous burnout state. One fighter's drive gauge is just about empty. Can they recover, or are they in trouble here? This is the range where things get messy. Can they utilize their reach or bait each other out? Brushes off the impact. Both fighters are trying to decide their next move. Projectile to try and change the situation. Strings it all together. Pokes with a medium kick. Feeling up. Oh, burnout triggered. He turns it up a notch and sends them to the corner. Burnout! Expect the tempo of the match to end with a projectile. Player 1 picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage.
Round 2. Fight.
Breaks those shins. Grabs them. Jumps up. Picks up the springs forward with the drive rush. Player 2 has a slight life lead. Taps him with Musasabi. Took him to the corner in a flash. Super on deck for both fighters. Expect to see some fireworks. Their spacing is so on point right now, but drive rush to keep it going. Checks with a medium kick. My dives in from above. Shows a medium kick. Getting it all on a drive rush. Springs forward with the drive rush. Going in. The next touch may decide this round. Player 1 is in a very good spot now. That was the highest I've ever seen one. Player 1 faced the giant and walks away unscathed. What a win! Right back into the rematch. We ain't even close to done yet. Shoots off a fireball up close. Any developments early in the round will set the table for the rest of the fight. Plenty of time left. How's the match gonna play out? Player 2 with the life lead. Ooh, will they hit, whiff, or even charge in? Tricky territory here. It's a normal hit, but they get in there. All right, what's coming up next? Does a good job of pushing back. That's some big juicy damage on that counter hit. Just goes for it to stop the opponent's flow. Life lead opens up. My dives in from above.
Stay down.
Grabs him. Drive rush to keep it going. They need to rely on the come from behind to pick up the win. They took advantage of every chance. Player 1 takes the round like a thief in the night. What else can they get away with? They both showed their hands a little bit, so they must be thinking of a counter. Solid throw tech. Can't tech the throw? Their spacing is so on point right now. But who's gonna blink first? Springs forward with the drive rush. From up above. Daggers for counters with amnesia. Nice lead. Super arc on deck for both fighters. Drive rush to keep it going. Big throws. Going in? Player 1 needs to use the threat of the corner here. Attempts to break the stalemate with the fireball. We're at a standstill, but we may see an eruption soon. Player 1 can't use any drive moves without burning out. Full SA meters on deck for both sides. This could be over soon. Their spacing is so on point right now. But who's gonna blink first? Pumps the brakes on the impact. The low's blocked. Can this drive bring them back? Doing some quick planning? They are absolutely wailing on each other in the middle of the stage. Goes to the air. Can they create an opportunity for themselves to seal the deal? That's a big gap. Who's going to close it? Throws a beefy Kachosen. Left all in with a rush. The fighters are running out of time. Oh, burnout triggered. Life lead is there, but still anyone's game. Finishes with the throw. Player 1 made all the right moves, and this experience is only gonna make them stronger. Check for the medium. Oh! There's a punish counter. This can lead to something very big if they can capitalize. Gets back with a well-placed drive reversal. The impact gets blocked. Player 2 will be in a world of hurt if their drive gauge runs out. How much damage can they deal? Brings out the super art. How is it gonna work out for them? This is a tough spot. Tries to keep the pressure on the opponent by zoning with fireball. Gets him. Player 1 sets the tone with that win. Let's see if they can keep it up. Good job blocking the jump in. They're showing us just how patient they can be. Fantastic reactions there. Uses the drive rush here to steal their turn. Gotta be careful not to whip at this range. Throws a beefy Kachosen. Manages to block the jump-in attack. Hits up, springs forward with the drive rush. A quick breather. Taps him with Musasabi. Player 1 can't use any drive moves without burning out. Grabs and throws them away. Player 1 needs to use the cutter, willing to risk it for the overdrive. Drops him from the air. The jump-in is denied. Knocked him out of the air. Or up, nothing but air. Player 1 has the... They were waiting for it. Here comes the corner pressure. Okay, send them to another dimension. What a finish! This is the final round. Expect to see some fireworks. This is it. Who's gonna take it all? Looks like they want to put a new spin on things with that firework. Jumps up. Throw is denied. What a read! Medium all in with a rush. Makes the enemy shield and gets that bump. The attack continues. Player 1 with a slight lead. Will they capitalize? Here comes the corner pressure. Dash!
comes a new challenger.
Our fighters are pumping themselves up and are raring to go. Who's going to come out on top in this fight?
Show me what you have.
An honor, to be sure.
Fight! Round! Fight!
The throw is escaped. tries to bait him with the projectile. The fighters continue to check each other in the early going. You've got to be mindful of reach and jump-ins at this range. Paints, springs forward with a drive rush. Checks with a medium kick. Knocks him out of the air. And eats it. Overhead. The drive impact doesn't work. What's next? Taking chunks at connects with the throw. Gets into perfect fireball range. Jump! I assume the pleasantries are just about over. With super arts into play, it's really holy! Oh, the drive impact hits for a punish. Noticeable life lead is a critical art now? Are you kidding me? I've seen a lot of fights in my day, but nothing even comes close to this one.
Here comes a new challenger.
Our fighters are pumping themselves up and are raring to go. Who's going to come out on top in this fight?
Show me what you have.
An honor, to be sure.
Round one. Fight.
The fight's now underway. This is Vicious with the play-by-play. Jump in finds the marker. The throw hits. Now the fun begins. Player one pushes the opponent into the corner. You can use a drive rush like that there to maintain the pressure. Taking stock. Neither of them willing to back off here. Player one is maintaining the corner position for some juicy damage. Burnout is triggered. In a dire situation, the KO. Player one picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage. That's some big juicy damage on that counter hit. Springs forward with the drive rush. Player one chases them down. Medium kick hits. Blocks it. Fires off the Genova. Big super art hit. It's on. Breaks the block with a throw. Both fighters planning something? Drive rush to keep it going. Still slug. Ooh, what a smart blow. One-oh half adds a bit of OD spice to it. Reads the jump in perfectly. Drive rush. The parry. All in with a rush. Pokes with a kick. Betting it all on the drive rush. Closes it out. We're going into the final round tied up. Which fighter has it in them to grind out the win? Overhead, but it won't work. Looks like they want to put a new spin on things. This can lead to some big damage. Throws out the Kachasa drive impact misses. A quick breather. Max SA gauges. Unbelievably in sync with a chance to score big here. Looking for a hold. Player one. Ooh, what a smart blow. Oh, here we go. Holds it in the corner. Oh my God, they just choked it up. Player two has got to work some magic with his limit. All in with a rush. Throws them. Player one is in a very good spot now. Ooh, all the throw connects. What's next? Player two. Oh, yo, rock super hit. Player two is looking. Oh, now that is a punish. Sets up with the jump in. Here comes the boom. Super out of nowhere. The big brains on the competitor is unreal. Perfectly planned, perfectly executed. Player one delivers the upset. That's one for the replays. They're still hungry. Both sides stepping up for the rematch. Crowns them from above. Player one counters with the media. Nice lead. Medium kick hits. combos there. They get the distance they want. Let's see their approach. There's a drive rush to throw the opponent off balance. Takes the chance to hurt him. Parries the attack. Can't tech the throw? Taking stock. That's some big KO. Player 2 picks up the always important first round. They'll want to keep the ball rolling.
Round 2. Fight.
Goes for the jump in to start the round. They've piled up the knowledge. Now, how are they going to use it? Throws him. What's next? Who will gain control of the match in the early? Springs forward with the drive rush. Player 1 needs to use the predator corner hit. Free glove. Player 1 can't use any drive moves without burning out. Okay, creating some space here. This may be it. The Big Bang for Chosen comes out. Both fighters planning something? Blocks it. Wrong critical. What's gonna happen?
Meaningless efforts.
Yo, we're dealing with a real gambler here. Go on life and is still willing to risk it all on this critical art to deal the cash money damage they need. Can they create an opportunity for reads the jump in perfectly? Nails the 3-ball. They got the drive, impact doesn't work. The low kick hits. Gets the getting it all on the drive rush. Wraps it up with a throw. That was catch as can if you're gonna get in a fight. They're still hungry. Both sides stepping up for the rematch. Shows a medium kick. Checks him with a projectile. They gotta escape from the corner before the pressure builds up. The fighters are at a standstill. What's going on through their heads? Player 1 will be in a world of hurt if their drive gauge runs out. They're really being worked over in the corner. Tries to keep the pressure on the opponent by zoning with fireball. Throws a fireball here, maybe as a simple zoning strat. Player 2 can't afford to get hit again, but still has a chance to take the round if they can take the big gamble and rips out a raw super. That's not gonna hit. Player 1 is gonna have to wait for that drive gauge. Can they stick it out? This is a come from behind to pick up the win. They took advantage of every chance. Player 2 wins the first round and is now riding a huge wave of momentum.
Fight.
Jumps in. Connects with medium kick. Takes him all the way to the corner with that. Amnesia. Big throw. All right, what's getting that extra juice in with Kagero no Mai? Free glove. Jumps. 3-ball. Player 2 needs to use the threat of the corner here. Side switch in the burnout. Expect the tempo of the match to hit. Lighting up the skies with Kagero no Mai. Player 1 has an empty drive here. This is a very precarious situation. A quick breather. Watching each other carefully. Who will make the first solid anti-air? Player 1 will look to apply pressure here. One player is in burnout. Ooh, what a smart throw. Only a little hit the drive. What are they gonna do? What a finish! Here's the final round. The real fight starts now.
Look out there.
Fight round. Fight.
Medium kick into. Throws a beefy Kachosen. Shows a medium kick. Barely blocks the jump in. Max SA gauges. Unbelievably in sync with the drive rush. Looking for a hole. Close range protects forward rush. Oh, you knew the throw was coming. Player 1 with the lead. Will they go for offense or defense? Oh, putting the cherry on top. Uh-oh. This could really tip the scales. This might be a pivotal super art. Hits the drive. What now? Player 1 is in a very good spot. Oh my god, what a throw set! Fools him and locks him in embrace. Both sides getting ready. Getting it all on this level 2 super arm. Turns out. They're taking a step back to slow down the pace. Quick medium poke. Solid anti-air. Player 1 can't let this. This can lead to some big damage. Player 2 tries to make something happen with an overdrive arc. Medium kick. What are they gonna do? They've been keeping a full drive gauge in their pocket, but they gotta pull it out sooner or later. Sticks out a kick. Are you kidding me? Player 1 delivers the upset. That's one for the replays. It's not over yet. Best believe it's time for that run. They quickly get back into the corner of the stage. Player 1 is maintaining the corner position for some juicy damage. Plenty of life left in both fighters, but a big difference in drive. How can they use this to their advantage? On dangerous turf. Easy to get tagged at this range. Goes for the throw. Good parry here to try and make something happen. Takes a trip. Grabs them. Player 2 chases them down. Goes for the down to the wire. They can open up this round big by converting this punish counter.
Stay down.
Opts for the throw to close it out. Player 1 takes the round like a thief in the night. What else can they get away with?
Fight!
Immediate jump in. How will they take it? Goes for the super arm. Connects with medium kick. Burnout. Expect the tempo of the match to change. Uses the gauge for the super. They're not playing around here. That's the 3 bars for Shiranui and Uanazatsu. Mine's looking to separate body and soul. Dashes. Breaks the block with a throw. Both fighters planning something. Their spacing is charges forward. This is a turning point. They gotta turn. Oh, okay. Oh. Player 1 played with a lot of heart to pull off a tremendous win. Definitely one to watch. This is crucial. The opening round is about to begin. They gotta escape from the corner before the pressure builds up. They're not gonna allow any jump-ins. Sticks the combo. Oh, easy tech. Player 2 is in a tight spot right now. Knockdown. They're being absolutely relentless with this fireball pressure in the corner. Plenty of space between the fighters. What will be their approach? Reads their mind and techs the throw. Trying to read each other here? KO! Player 1 takes the round like a thief in the night. What else can they get away with? Not shy with the grab. They've piled up the knowledge. That goes for the super art? Departure set. Checks with a medium kick. Checks him with a projectile. Player 1 is working with a better gauge. What can they do with it? Jumps? Barely blocks the jump in. 3-ball? Going in? Time to reassess the situation? Jumps in. Oh, they're in the corner now. No running away. A quick breather. Player 1 is in a pretty good situation with a meter advantage. Jumps up. Drive rush to keep it going. Misses the grab. Player 1 will need to use their meter here wisely. So, what's next? Player 2 is dominating this match. 3-glove. Time to reassess the situation. One chance here may end this match. Not much movement, but the thinking caps are definitely on. Doing some quick planning? Ooh, what's this? What's gonna happen? Impact finish. It was more than enough. Here's the final round. The real fight starts now. Tries to make something happen with an overdrive arc. Grabs and throws him away. Oh, the throw connects. Both players look for something to work with, but neither are getting it all on the drive rush. Not looking good. The corner's a bad place to be. Player one can't let this simmer. Wreck them. Ooh, you never take the enemy shield and get that buff. The attack continues. Throws them. What's next? Gotta do better than that. Drive rush. Player one is in a very good spot now. A jump in? This can lead to some big damage. What now? Noticeable life lead is a comeback so far. What were they thinking? They're in range. We gonna see a jump in? A dash? It's a fake! Nice fireball! Mai's coming in for the meet and greet! They gotta go! Are you kidding me? Player one made all the right moves, and this experience is only gonna make them stronger. Very nice free blow. Throws a beefy Kachosen. Throws a fireball here, maybe as a simple zoning stream. Knockdown. Player one and a super activation, looking to score some juicy damage. We're near the end of the KO. Player one sets the tone with that win. Let's see if they can keep it up. That drive impact is blocked. Dashes forward. Grabs him. Goes to the open. Springs forward with the drive rush. This is gonna be bad news. Player one needs to use the threat of the corner here. Hits him with a stopping block. Getting that execution with Kagero no Mai. Baits out the attack and gets the punish counter. Very different. Oh, burnout triggered. Correct stone cold embrace. You can't block those. Both sides in burnout. They can't drive. The Big Bang Kachosen comes out. A real test of nerves here. Lasuka throws him in the minefield. They're so close to the overhead. Player two is on track. The overhead denied. Full drive on deck. Tons of space between the fighters now. What are they cooking up? Sees the overhead coming. They back down to regroup. All in with a rush. Player one is in a very good spot now. A jump? Anticipated that a fireball at that range? This is the final round. Expect to see some fireworks. Backdash to start, reads the jump in perfectly. Player one will need to do a better job of utilizing their drive gauge if they want a different result than last time. That's a big gap. Who's going to close it? Not much movement, but the thinking caps are definitely on. Quarter line incoming. Player two with the lead. Will they go for offense or defense? Break them. Drive rush. How did they read that flow? All in with a rush. Medium kick. Are they going to be able to come back and snatch victory from the jaws of defeat? Links it. Dribble. Closes it out. Woo! I dare you to find me a better match than that. Get up and tell them what's good. They're still hungry. Both sides stepping up for the rematch. This is crucial. The opening round is about to begin. Parries the projectile. Now what's the follow-up? Deftly shuts out the jump-in. The low is denied. Both fighters have plenty of health. Where is this match gonna go? A drive rush to try and keep up the attack. Goes with the projectile to pressure the opponent. Now they get pushed into the corner, where it's going to be very difficult to escape. Jump in finds the mark. All right, what's coming up next? Lands the forward throw. The corner pressure continues. Goes for a projectile to try and change the pace. They break things off to take a quick breather. Down to the wire. Ends the round with a punish counter. Living in the opponent's head rent-free right now. Player one on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on. How will they take advantage of everything that's happened up until now? Parries the projectile. Now what's the follow-up? things are slow going right now, but we may see someone speed things up. Brings out the super art. How is this gonna work out for them? Level 3 super! Spending that meter like it's nobody's business. Knockdown springs forward with the drive rush. Player plus super art. Hits up the counter. This is going to be huge. Gives them no chance to counter the drive reversal. Do they have enough drive gauge? That's a counter. Goes for the jump in. What'll happen here? Calls out their shot and responds with authority. Player 1 is in a very great state. Stone Cold Embrace. You can't block those. Activates the super and may try to make something happen here. All in with a rush. Are you serious? They had a read on that jump in the whole time? Somehow they anticipated that throw. Jumps. Barely blocks the jump in. Pokes with a kick. Not much movement, but the thinking caps are definitely on. Fireball pressure. Trying to wear down the opponent. Were they looking to connect with an overdrive arc from this situation? Ooh, what a smart throw. Player 1 betting it all on this level 2 super arc. Who's gonna flatline them? We're going into the final round tied up. Which fighter has it in them to grind out the win?
Final round. Fight!
Open, knocked them out of the air. Tries to make something happen with an overdrive arc. The big bang Chosen comes out. We're just getting started here. Who will take control? Drive rush to keep it going. Player 1 will look to apply pressure here. This can lead to some big damage. Amazing. Oh, they took the hit. Player 2 is in burnout state. A very precarious, solid anti-air. Player 1 forward rush. Player 1 can't let this simmer. They gotta start cooking. Great drop that off. Here comes a big combo. Player 2 can't use any drive moves. Gotta play it safe. This is a critical moment. I can't believe it. They are done. Player 2 was definitely sweating during that well-earned win.
Round 1.
It's not over yet. Best believe it's time for that run back. Oh, the throw connects. Drive time. Still very early in the round. Okay, we're in the early stages of the round. Player 1 pushes the opponent into the corner. No good up high. A dangerous range here. You don't want to get jumped on a long recovery move or you're going to eat tons of damage. All right. Uses the parry. Very solid corner switch. Player 1 can't let their drive gauge run out. They need to find a way to reach super art activated. Expect something big here. Got their eye on the air. All right, what's coming up next? Can they create an opportunity for themselves to seal the deal? This is the perfect range to reach out and tag them with something. Nice toss-up. KO! Player 1 on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on.
Round 2. Fight!
Checking their reactions with a fireball? They've piled up the knowledge. Now, how are they going to use it? Jump? Checks with a medium kick. So they break forward to pressure the opponent. Genius read! Pokes with a medium kick. The big bang Chosen comes out. Both fighters planning something? Springs forward with the drive rush. Throw leaves them wide open. A quick breather. Looks like they want to put a new spin on things with that fireball. Time to reassess the situation? Oh, they're in the corner now. No running away. Jump? Three-ball? Not counting them with the Lavchuka. Can they stand the heat? The super doesn't hit. Whoa, coming for you. This is a turning point. They gotta turn it around. Tries to make something happen. Oh. This is the final round. Expect to see some fireworks.
Is that it then?
Final round. Fight!
Ooh, it looks like they're waiting to see what the opponent wants to do first. Gets out of there with a backdash. Picks up the counter. This is going to be huge. Both fighters are raring to go. Were they looking to connect with an overdrive art from this situation? Player one will look for Ozum. Side switch in the corner. Drops them from the air. Connects with the throw. Player one can't use drive anymore. They're taking a step back to slow down the pace. Quick medium poke. Sets up with the jump in. These guys are not giving each other any time to breathe. Both sides getting ready. Finds the target. Player one with the rhythm anticipated that throw. Player two has a full drive gauge but is on the brink of death. Flatlines them. Player one faced the giant and walks away unscathed. What a win!
DJ. Here comes a new challenger.
What are we going to see transpire between these fighters? No one knows, but this is going to be a must-see match.
Bring the heat. Round one. Fight.
Here we go. What are these fighters going to do? Waiting for the opponent to make the first move. Knew they'd go for it. That's a good read. Now they get pushed into the corner, or it's going to be very difficult to escape. Player two in that dangerous burnout state. What are they thinking here? Player two has used up all of their drive gauge. The jump in is denied. Big trouble here. The stun is going to leave them defenseless. With the life gap opening up, they need to lean hard on their drive usage. What's their game plan here at this critical stage? Player opts for the throw to close it out. Player one picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage.
Round two. Fight.
Oh, feint? They both showed their hands a little bit, so they must be thinking of a counter. Player two had a hard time managing their drive gauge last round, and I'm sure they're aware that they need to start adapting. How much damage can they deal before the opponent drive rush to keep it going? Player one creates a good corner opportunity. One fighter's drive gauge is just there going for the super art. Player one is working with a better gauge. What can they do with it? At least one of them is having a good time in that corner. Big dip springs forward with the drive rush. Throw tag uses their drive gauge. Medium kick. And they create an opportunity for themselves to seal the... Oh, yo! Raw super hit! Oh, huge tag. And were they looking to connect? Closes it out. Player one brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak. We are here in the first round. Which one of them will let their fists do the talking? Okay, we're in the early stages of the round. Plenty of time left. How's the match gonna play out? Side switch. Now they're on the defensive. The drive rush to try and keep up the attack. Trips them up. Player one heats it up with a combo into super.
Come on, let's.
Uses the drive rush here to steal their turn. Big counter. KO. Player one picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage. That's some big juicy damage on that counter. Rolling Soba. Medium kick. The throw misses. Shows a medium kick. Drive rush to keep it going. Still slugging it out at this range. Player one will need to play it conservative until their drive refreshes. Drive gauge gap here. Springs forward with the drive rush. Zones with the fireball. We're at a standstill, but we may see an eruption soon. blocking that drive impact isn't going to work. It's a good spot to use the super. Avoids getting stuck in the corner somehow. Noticeable life lead. Is a comeback still possible? What'll happen here? Drive rush. Excellent block. Air slasher. Throws a fireball. What are they gonna do? What now? Player one, this is gonna hurt. Medium kick. We're going into the final round tied up. Which fighter has it in them to grind out the win?
Final round. Fight.
Opens with a the throw connects. Hits the drive. Rips the slasher out. Checks with a medium kick. Perfect execution with the anti-air. Player one is working with a better gauge. What can they do with low heavy? Carries them all the way to the corner and one links it. Stuff it. Forward rush. Meets them air to air. This can lead to some big damage. Oh my, and protect. Oh, here we go. Player two. Can't let this hit that with confidence. Excellent damage on that. All in with the rush. Oh my, no hesitation or regret. Hits him with that NSFW. Perfect damage calculation. No doubt about it. They are done. Player one is going to be watching replays for this one for a while. They really took it down to the wire. Gets the counter hit. The throw whiffs. Checks with a medium kick. Checks him with a projectile. Will the drive parry here open things up for them? On dangerous turf. Easy to get tagged at this range. Player one is just about out of drive after that. Both fighters are low on drive range. They'll want to tread carefully for this part of the fight. Player two needs to deal with this burnout. Tries to keep the pressure on the opponent by zoning with fireball. Taking stock. Player one chases them down. Heading into the end game now, it's getting tense. Medium kick hits. KO. Player one takes the round like a thief in the night. What else can they get away with? Was looking for that jump attack. Dashes forward. Barely blocks the jump in. Medium kick. It's a good spot to use the super. Level 3 super. Spending that meter like it's nobody's business. Big super overdrive jackknife. Knockout springs forward with the drive rush. Drive rush to keep it going. Ooh, what a smart throw. Sets up with the jump in. Player two needs to hold out a drive rush. Tries to make something happen with an overdrive arc. Dangerous range here. And this is gonna hurt. Closes it out. Last round, people. Both fighters gotta go all in from this point.
Final round. Fight.
Open, knocks them out of the air. Gotta do better than that. Took him to the corner and a throw is denied. What a read. Impact squashed. My dives in. Oh my, the throw tech. Closes it, all the throw connects. Oh, here we go. Looking for, sets up with the jump in. Barely blocks the jump in. What now? Change things up with a fireball. Oh, burnout. Did they mean to do that? Make five, turning it up to an 11. Oh man, this is a scary range. Quick medium post. Anticipated that throw. Nice. It is over. Player two comes out on top of that fierce battle. Talk about a show. That match had it all. Low heavy. Connects with the throw. There's an overdrive arc. Not close enough for the throw.
Stay down.
Grabs him. Player one has the life advantage. Weighs on the pressure with the projectile. Taking stock. Tries to keep the pressure on the opponent by zoning with Fireball. Player 2 is going to have a hard time managing their drive now. Good job blocking the jump in. They're showing us just how patient they can be. Both sides backing off to form their game plan. Their life is looking critical, and they can't rely too much on drive either. Uses a Fireball to try and establish their pace. Okay, creating some space here. Life lead opens up. Player 1 get KO. Player 1 picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage.
Round 2. Fight.
Easily escapes that throw attempt. Brushes off the impact. Sees it coming and blocks it out. This is the range where things get messy. Henley springs forward with the drive rush. Got their eye on the air. Tries to keep the pressure on the opponent by zoning with fireballs. Attempts to break the stalemate with a fireball. Player 1 is working with a less than ideal drive gauge. They'll need to be very careful here. Okay, they trade hits. Player 1 will need to play it conservative until their drive resets. Super clutch corner switch. Smart play with the throw. Both fighters planning something? Their space drive rush to keep it going. Jackknife maximum cuts clean through them. How will they manage their drive gauges? Ooh, you never know what can happen here. What's next? Uses the fireball to... Can this drive bring them back? Nice air slasher. Looking for a chance. Drive rush. Who's gonna take it? Wrong critical. What's gonna happen? This is gonna kill. No doubt about it. Uh-oh. What a finish!
You're something else. Fight round. Fight.
Tries to make something happen with an overdrive arc. Parried the fireball. Oh, springs forward with the drive rush. We're just getting started here. Who'll take control? You've got to be mindful of reach and jump-ins at this range. Experiencing burnout. There's the drive impact that's going to lead to a juicy punish count. Getting that extra juicy with Kagero no Mai. Player 2 in dire straits with burnout. Barely blocks the jump-in. Player 1 is in a pretty good situation with the meter. Connects with the throw. What now? Solid anti-air. Close range projectile. Player 1 can nothing stop this train. This is the time to believe in your abilities. What's next? Perfect parry with the net. Noticeable life lead. Is a comeback still possible? Lives coming in, closes in. Are you kidding me? Player 1 faced a giant and walks away unscathed. What a win! They're still at it. No one's willing to step away from a rematch. Checks with a medium kick. Rolling Soba. Checks him with a projectile. Neither of them willing to back off here. Stands firm and blocks the drive impact. What's the play here? Player 2 blazing through that drive gauge to try and set the pace. Nice tech. Good job blocking the jump in. They're showing us just how patient they can be. Life lead opens up. Shoots off a fireball up close. This is the range where things get met. Springs forward with the drive rush. Player 2 has depleted their drive in, but they are still within range. Hits them for the stun. This might be over like KO. Player 1 takes the round like a thief in the night. What else can they get away with? Everything up until now, and everything from here on out, is so vital. Holds out with the block. Takes him all the way to the corner. Brings out the super art. How's it gonna work out for them? Risky up-close scrap still going. Super clutch corners. Are you serious? They had a read on that jump in the whole time? Going in? Breaks the block with a throw. Connects with the throw. What a forward rush. Scrapping it out up close. Connects with medium kick. All in with a rush. There's a burnout. Player 2 can't use any drive through. Gotta play it safe. Time to go for broke. Sticks out a kick. Both of them back off. They may be preparing for the final exchange. Both stop flatline zone. Player 1 faced the giant and walks away unscathed. What a win! Right back into the rematch. We ain't even close to done yet. Adds on a bit extra to that to make sure the opponent walks away with a full plate. Goes for the fireball. Maintains composure and pushes out of the corner. Player 2 in that takes a big gamble and rips out a raw super. Player 2 doesn't have a lot of drive gauge to play with. Not a good thing. At this range, many attacks can connect if you stick something out. The neutral game is very important. What a clutch side switch there. Now they need to capitalize on this chance. Player 2 gets it. Player 1 picks up the always important first round. They'll want to keep the ball rolling. How will they take advantage of everything that's happened up until now? Up into the air off the just cool. Shows the medium kick, sees it coming and blocks it out. Checks with a medium kick. This is the range where things get messy. Springs forward with a drive rush. Going in, uses the parry so the opponent can't dictate the pace of the round. Pokes with a medium kick. Side switch in the corner. Getting that extra juice in your Kagero no mind. Player 1 needs to use the threat of the corner here. Reads the jump in perfectly. Player 1 a super art. Sunrise Festival. They've got to nail the angles to keep this up. Any mistake here is going to be forward rush. They don't have any leeway to make a mistake. Someone's got to make a move. The drive gauge is screaming. Drive rush. Both sides getting ready. They're in range, willing to risk it for the overdrive. Player 1 can't use any drive through. Flatline zone. Player 1 mid.
Honda. Here comes a new challenger.
We're in for something special right here, right now.
Show me what.
Round 1. Fight.
All right, first round. What's going to happen? They gotta escape from the corner before the pressure builds up. Both fighters are pretty much unscathed. Uncomfortable space here. Can they clip each other on the edge? Blocks the jump in. Reacts to the throw. Player 1 is just about out of drive after that. Clips the grab. Projectile to try and change the situation. Good job blocking the jump in. They're showing us just how patient they can be. Player 2 chases them down. Plenty of space between the fighters. What will be their approach? Launches them! Show up for it! Well aware of the life in meters. Really good decision making. Player 2 on the board first with a win. They'll want to keep the pressure on.
Round 2. Fight.
They've both showed their hands a little bit, so they must be thinking of a counter. Blocks the low heavy. Checks them with the projectile. They continue to battle it out in the middle of the stage. Shoryu engine gives them the springs forward with the drive rush. Misses the grab. Still scrapping for control of the space. Not much life difference. Have they noticed the drive gauge gap? Clean all in with the rush. Oicho. It's too much. Player 2 brings it home.
challenger.
What are we going to see transpire between these fighters? No one knows, but this is going to be a must-see match.
I'm number one. Round one. Fight.
The fight's now underway. This is Vicious with the playback play. Plenty of time left. How's the match gonna play out? Player one pushes the opponent into the corner. No good up high. Reacts to the throw. Player two needs to deal with this burnout. One fighter's drive gauge is just about empty. Can they recover or are they in trouble here? Definitely answers the air attack. Plenty of space. Nice, perfect parry there. What'll they do next? They hit each other. Tries to catch him out with the arc step. Takes a big gamble and rips out a raw super. Wraps it up with a decisive combo. Player one takes the round like a thief in the night. What else can they get away with?
Round two. Fight.
The next round is beginning. What's gonna happen now? Hits him with a vagabond edge. Backs them into the corner in a hurry. Bends the meter, hoping for a good return. Confirms the Bushin Ninja Star Slicer. The damage and attack boost off this will really tip things in their favor. You just show up for it. Going in? Can they keep on him? KO. Player one brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak. Right back into the rematch. We ain't even close to done yet. Box him with a target combo. Backs them into the corner. Decides to go in with the target combo. Denies that throw attempt. Nice counter. Smart play there. Just out of range for that throw. The jump in is denied. Can't tech the throw. Knockdown. Player two chases them down. Heading into the end game now. It's getting tense. We're near the end of the round. Can either fighter pull a rabbit out of their hat here? What's their game plan here at this critical stage? One chance here, mate, gets him. Player one picks up the always important first round. They'll want to keep the ball rolling. Everything up until now, and everything from here on out, is so vital. Jumps in. Still very early in the round. Both fighters want to establish themselves early on. Whiffs the throw. Can't tech the throw? Both fighters planning something? Goes with the safe stuff with that target. Charges forward. Both fighters have a full super meter on deck. The winner will be the one who manages it best. A quick breather. Jumps. Goes for the jump in. They return to center stage. What'll happen here? Connects with the throw. There's a burnout. Ooh, you never know what can happen here. Player one overhead. Crowns him from above. Player throw is denied. What a read. This is a critical moment. That's gonna leave him rattled. Oh, they got him. Player one brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak. How is this rematch going to play out? Are we going to witness a blow up here? Okay, we're in the early stages of the round. Any developments early in the round will set the table for the rest of the fight. Okay, takes them all the way to the corner. Player one has them legit shook in the corner. Opts for the throw. Trips them up. Okay, they trade hits. What's their game plan here at this critical stage? Decides to spend the meter to open up some more chances. Back throw for the side switch. Player two chases them down. In a dire situation, they can't afford experience KO. Player one on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on. A brave forward jump there to start. Hits him with a vagabond edge. Jumps in. The quarter makes it hard to escape. What'll be the setup here? Uses the target combo as a filler. Flies in with a headbutt. Still slugging it out at this range. Full SA meters on deck for both sides. This could be over soon. Goes with the safe stuff with that target combo. Raw critical. What's gonna happen? Still alive? Still alive? Couldn't finish them off. Can they still take the round? Oh my, wraps it up with a throw. Player one brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak. How is this rematch going to play out? Are we going to witness a blow up here? From up above. Freeze them. Player two has the life lead. The drive gauge is completely empty, meaning their ability to block is also weaker. Player one creates a good corner opportunity. One fighter's drive gauge is just about empty. Can they recover or are they in trouble here? Drive gauge finally recovers. Takes a trip. What's their game plan here at this critical stage? Experiencing burnout. Comes crashing down on them with some Bushin beats. Bushin beats assaults them from the air. Where is their opening? In there! Player one takes the round like a thief in the night. What else can they get away with? They've both showed their hands a little bit, so they must be thinking of a counter. Nice tech. Both fighters want to establish themselves early on. Player one is going to have a hard time managing their drive now. So they break forward to pressure the opponent. Takes a trip. Blocks it. Player two experiencing burnout. Player charges forward. Goes for the jump in. Player one needs to use the threat of the corner here. Just goes for it at this range. Sticks out a kick. What are they gonna do? Drops him hard. Flatlines him. Here's the final round. The real fight starts now. Saw that coming. Goes with the safe stuff with that target combo. Oh, they're in the corner now. Nope. Sends him flying. Next the counter. Arc step. Yes, sir. More damage, please. Gets the side switch. Lift off. More fuel to the fire. Cook them up. Drops them from the air. Drops that off. Player two can't throw a burnout. Did they mean to do that? Notice here comes the boom. Hits him down with a super. Now that's how you take a round. Did not miss that chance and takes the round. Player one was an absolute beast in that match. They're still at it. No one's willing to step away from a rematch. They're trading attacks. Player two creates a good corner opportunity. If they can't escape this rock-solid corner pressure, this round is over. What are they thinking here? They're jostling for the dominant position in the corner. Player one can't afford to get hit again, but still has a chance to take the round if they can find openings to use their drive. They block the overhead, and life lead opens up. This is a huge chance to make a feel it. Hits them with a vagabond edge. Sets a shuriken bomb to panic them. Player one chases them down. There's a wall splat. They can't do anything now. They need to rely on goes for the level one in there. Player two picks up the always important first round. They'll want to keep the ball rolling. Who's going to start things off? Big counter. Launches them. Player two has a slight life lead. Scrapping it out up close. Player two will need to play it conservative until their drive refreshes. Both fighters just goes for it at this range. Level 3 super. spending that meter like it's nobody's business.
Farewell.
Not much life difference. Hits him with a vagabond edge. Player 2 is in a pretty good situation with the meter. Connects with the throw. Player Burnout. Expect the tempo of the match to change. Crowns him from above. Player 2 can't use any drive moves. Gotta play it safe. They're in range. We gonna see it. What a finish! Last round, people. Both fighters gotta go all in from this point. Starts things off with a jump in. It's time for both fighters to lay it all on the line. Just goes for it at this range. Uses the gauge for the super. They're not playing around here. Can they make the most of this? Light throw is denied. What a read! Player genius read with that throw escape. The low. Player 2 is looking at a grim situation with Burnout. A rare chance here. They gotta do something. Vagabond forever elevator. Players burn out, but they may have a plan here. Noticeable life lead. Is a comeback still possible? The jump in is denied. Oh, here we knew the throw was. Are you kidding me?
Kimberly.
Get that bank account